everyone. I want to do a quick deck tech here, talk about something other than the Sultai deck I've been playing. I did a stream today, and I went X and 1 with it, straight from the bottom of Gold 4 to Gold 3. I dropped to the bottom of Gold 4 thanks to experiments with vampires. So there's a lot of tribal stuff online right now. Well, not a lot. There's 4 competitive tribes, which I guess is a lot. There's dinosaurs, vampires, merfolk, and pirates. Pirates usually comes in the form of red deck wins, which is not really strictly a pirates, but they do have a small theme there. And I guess you can say there's zombies, but I think you need a lot of weird rares and stuff for zombies that you wouldn't necessarily want to spend your time crafting. So here's the version of vampires I have. It's obviously incomplete. I've done a little bit of crafting towards it, but it's only commons and uncommons. Skymarch Aspirant, I should definitely have 1 or 2 more Legions landing, but this makes kind of a nice substitute there. Martyr of Dusk, just awesome, and brings back a lifelinker when it dies. Dusk Legion Zealot, I should have 1 more of this, but I actually ran out of commons before uncommons, and I'm still short 1. 2 Moment of Craving, 4 Legion Lieutenant, because Lords are just insanely good right now. It's just usually like GG if your opponent cannot interact with that Lord within the first turn 2 of you playing it. And once they start stacking, they turn off a lot of the lower cost removal in the format right now. And it's critical to get your team out from under a Golden Demise, which is really one of the top counter cards to this. Queen's Commission, because we want as many tokens as we can get. Radiant Destiny, this would be what I would be crafting towards right now, getting up to 4 of these. This card is just insane. People do not main deck enchantment removal beyond maybe 1 or 2 of the 3/4 dinosaur that can sacrifice to remove something, or things like Cast Out or Excellence Binding. But if they're using it to remove this, then they're spending a lot of mana and they are ignoring your board. So it's not necessarily bad if they spend their entire turn to remove your enchantment. Cast Out and Excellent Binding just as catch-all removal. They're expensive, but there's not really a ton of other stuff to do once you're in those later turns, and you want to be able to remove things like Scarab Gods, big dinosaurs, anything that's going to get in your way. Sanctum Seeker, I think 2 is the right number here. This is a pretty good card if you get wide but can't attack through profitably. It can really, I think the most I've ever triggered with this is 12, which is just insane. So this can function as a really solid finisher. Call of the Feast, or Call to the Feast, I would definitely want 1 more of this card. This is just, again, flood the board, very good to get back in the game if they find a way to clear. Crested Sun Mayor is not amazing. I have 4 of them. I've randomly just opened them or gotten them as individual card rewards. And Crested Sun Mayor, just, I feel like there's so much life gain in the deck off of the life linkers that it's kind of just worth it, to play this, especially since I'm missing the 4th Call of the Feast. I'm missing the 2nd Champion of Dusk. So it's just a catch-all creature, a way that I can kind of close out games or do something that's fundamentally unfair, even though I don't think it's optimal. Champion of the Dusk, definitely would run 1 if not 2 more of this. It's a little hard to cast sometimes, like double black. Same for Sanctum Seeker, just because of the way the mana is split and my bad luck in general. But because you want to turn on Shephet Dunes as often, or you want to be able to turn it on when you need, the list is slanted heavily towards plains. I'm only running 2 Forsaken Sanctuaries. I think there's probably a rare dual land. I don't know if it's online now or if it would be in the sets that are not online, but I would definitely want 1 more viable dual land in here to really smooth out the mana. And then last but not least, Vana. Again, just I'm missing some commons, uncommons, rares, and this just fills the gap. I've never had the opportunity to untap with this card and go to town with it, but I've certainly lost to it. So now that I've gone over the deck list, I'll say my impressions of it are not amazing. It's certainly fine. I think if you need to just get 2 wins with black-white as a quest to get your 300 gold, you can do far worse than playing something like this. It's really not a big crafting burden. Most of the cards are common and uncommon. I got lucky that I opened 3 out of the 4 Legion Lieutenants, so I was able to craft the last to finish off the playset. But you really do need the cast outs, the Ixalan Bindings. I think you need at least 2 Radiant Destinies just to make sure you have the Anthem effect. It's just too often the deck feels like you're sitting there with a bunch of 1/1s on the board, and you need to draw into a way to make them bigger, or you're just not going to be able to finish the game. It doesn't have a lot of inevitability outside of the Sanctum Seeker, which is really only 1 turn worth of inevitability. It's like you either have the tokens you need to make this effect good, or you don't. Probably Champion of Dusk, getting up to 3 of these is best right now with the cards we have available. I think you really just need to be able to draw through a stalled board state and get to things like your Radiant Destinies, your cast outs, your bindings that are going to help you push through. I'm not going to play a game with this right now because I'm on such a good streak with the Sultai deck, but I wanted to show people who might be interested in playing this type of deck, or are probably better than me at playing decks like this, what it looks like and what are some of the cards that you should look to craft towards. So that's it. Going to keep it short and go back to jamming Sultai games. All right, thanks. Bye.